HQSD approved Earth and Space Post Test covering standards 7.ESS.3 and 7.ESS.2. Go ahead and put your first and last name if you haven't already done so. As I read, you will follow along and pause the video when necessary to scroll down to the question I just have read and answer it. You will then scroll back up, unpause the video, and listen to the next question. So I'm going to read this question. I will then make a brief pause, enough time for you to pause the video, scroll down in your computer screen, choose the correct answer, and then scroll back up for more. Number 1, what is the driving force for surface ocean currents? 1, what is the driving force for surface ocean currents? A, density layering, B, global winds, C, the Coriolis effect, or D, salt concentration. Again, what is the driving force for surface ocean currents? A, density layering, B, global winds, C, the Coriolis effect, D, salt concentrations. Go ahead and pause, scroll down, answer it, and then unpause this video for number 2. Number 2, what force guides deep ocean currents? What force guides deep ocean currents? A, density difference, B, Coriolis effect, C, global winds, or D, continental barriers. What force guides deep ocean currents? A, density difference, B, Coriolis effect, C, global winds, or D, continental barriers. Again, pause my video, scroll down, answer, and then return back up and unpause for question number 3. Question number 3, what causes wind deflection? What causes wind deflection from the North and South poles? So you should know what deflection means, and you can use these arrows to look. Use the arrows to help you. What causes wind deflection from the North and South poles? A, the rotation of the Earth on its axis. B, the oblate shape of the Earth. C, the tilt of the Earth's axis relative to its orbital plane, or D, the difference in total landmass of the two hemispheres. Again, what causes the deflection from the North and South poles? A, the rotation of the Earth on its axis. B, the oblate shape of the Earth. C, the tilt of the Earth's axis relative to its orbital plane. Or D, the difference in total landmass of the two hemispheres. Please click pause on the video, scroll down, answer, and come back. Okay, which of the following for number 4, which of the following best shows heat transfer through radiation? A is an egg frying on a pan. B is a radiator with this red arrow and blue arrow. C is a man roasting a marshmallow near a fire. Or D shows red hot air rising and blue cold air sinking. Again, which of the following best shows heat transfer through radiation? A, an egg frying. B, the radiator with the red air and the cold air. C, a man roasting marshmallows near a fire. Or D, you have the warm red air rising and the blue cold air sinking. Go ahead and pause and then come back to this for number 5. Okay, number 5, the diagram below shows the 4 layers of the Earth's atmosphere. Which of the following correctly labels the layers represented by A, B, C, and D? So A, B, C, and D from Earth, which is down here, moving upward in the correct sequence. So which of the following correctly labels these layers, A, B, C, D, from Earth, which is A, moving upwards to D in the correct sequence? All right, what is the correct answer? Is it A, troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere? And if you choose A, you're saying that A is troposphere, B is stratosphere, C is mesosphere, and D is thermosphere? Or is it B, thermosphere, mesosphere, stratosphere, troposphere? If you choose B, then you're saying this one right here is the thermosphere, B right here is the mesosphere, C right here is the stratosphere, and D up at the top would be the troposphere. C would be troposphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, stratosphere. If you think it's that one, then you're saying layer A is the troposphere, layer B is the mesosphere, layer C is the thermosphere, and layer D, which is above, is the stratosphere. Or is it choice D? If you choose choice D, it's mesosphere, troposphere, thermosphere, stratosphere, meaning layer A is the mesosphere, layer B is the troposphere, layer C is the thermosphere, and layer D is the stratosphere. I'm not going to read all of those just because it's a long one. Go ahead and pause and rewind if you need to hear those choices again, but pause and scroll, answer, come back. Okay, here. What factor, number 6, what factor causes global wind patterns? Number 6, what factor causes global wind patterns? A, changes in the distance between the Earth and the Moon. B, unequal heating of the Earth's surface by the sun. C, daily changes in the tilt of the Earth's axis. Or D, a rapid rotation of the sun on its axis. Which factor causes global wind patterns? A, changes in the distance between the Earth and the Moon. B, unequal heating of the Earth's surface by the sun. C, daily changes in the tilt of the Earth's axis. Or D, rapid rotation of the sun on its axis. Again, pause, scroll down, answer, and then unpause the video for number 7. Number 7, what is the Earth's main source of thermal energy? What is the Earth's main source of thermal energy? A, magma in the mantle. B, iron core of the Earth. C, radiation from the sun. D, none of the above. Again, what is the Earth's main source of thermal energy? A, magma in the mantle. B, iron core of the Earth. C, radiation from the sun. D, none of the above. Pause and come back. Number 8, which picture shows an area, the picture, number 8, the picture shows an area where the air currents will form due to the uneven heating of the Earth. In which direction will air currents most likely move? You have the sea, you have the land. Above the sea or the ocean or the water is cool air. Above the land is warm air. It wants to know in which direction will air currents most likely move. A, straight down over the land. B, from the land towards the sea. C, straight up above the sea. Or D, from the sea towards the land. In which direction will the air currents most likely move? A, straight down over the land. B, from the land toward the sea. C, straight up over the sea. Or D, from the sea toward the land. Pause, make your choice, come back. Number 9, the picture below shows heat being transferred from the person's hand on the metal rod. What type of heat transfer is this? A, conduction, B, convection, C, radiation, D, all of the above. Again, which one shows what type of heat being transferred to the person's hand on the metal rod? What type of transfer of heat is this? A, conduction, B, convection, C, radiation, D, all of the above. Number 10, where in the diagram will air pressure be the greatest, meaning the most? Where in the diagram will air pressure be the greatest or the most? A, at the beach, down here. B, at the top of the mountain, up here. C, at the bottom of the clouds, right here. Or D, above the Earth's atmosphere, up here. Again, where will air pressure be the greatest? At the beach, down here. At the top of the mountain, here. C is at the bottom of the clouds. And D is above the Earth's atmosphere. Go ahead, pause and answer. Number 11, which weather instrument measures air pressure? which weather instrument measures air pressure? A thermometer, A, B, an anemometer, C, rain gauge, or D, barometer? Again, which weather instrument measures air pressure? A, a thermometer, B, an anemometer, C, rain gauge, D, barometer. That is the bell that you hear in the background. I'm going to continue going. Ignore that bell sound. Pause, answer, come back. Number 12, which arrow best represents the direction of the jet stream that influences weather across the continental United States? Again, which arrow best represents the direction of the jet stream? Is it 1, which goes like this? Follow my mouse arrow. So 1 is this way. 2 goes this way. 3 goes this way. And 4 goes that way. So what direction of the jet stream influences weather? What is the direction of it? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Pause and come back. Number 13, the map below shows a location of the Gulf Stream, an ocean current that moves tropical water along the east coast of the United States. I apologize for this typo. It should be capitalized. Which of the following best describes how the Gulf Stream affects the weather along the east coast of the United States? A, it makes the air less humid and brings less rain to the area. B, it makes the air temperature cooler and the winds stronger. C, it makes the winds stronger and brings less rain to the area. D, it makes the air temperature warmer and more humid. Again, what does the tropical Gulf Stream bring to the East Coast? A, makes it air less humid and less rain. B, air temperature is cooler and winds are stronger. C, winds are stronger but less rain. Or D, the air temperature is warmer and the air is humid. Make your choice. Come back after pausing. Number 14, what is this instrument designed to measure? What is this instrument designed to measure? I'll give you a hint. It says anemometer down here. So what does that measure? A, air temperature. B, rainfall. C, snowfall. D, wind speed. What does this instrument measure? A, air temperature. B, rainfall. C, snowfall. D, wind speed. Go ahead and pause and come back. Number 15, which best describes why winds at the beach change direction between day and night? So we know we have sea breezes and land breezes. Why do they change direction between day and night? A, because the temperatures over the land and over water change. B, because warm air over land sinks and stays in place over land. C, because cool air rises and is replaced by warm air from the ocean. D, because cool air sinks and stays in place over the land. Pause and come back. (16) Why does air pressure decrease, meaning go down, from the troposphere to the exosphere? So why does the air pressure decrease? Why does it weaken? Why does it get less from the troposphere to the exosphere? A, because there are fewer air molecules as air altitude increases. B, because there are more air molecules as altitude increases. C, because there are higher temperatures as altitude increases. Or B, because there are lower temperatures as altitude increases. So as altitude increases, we know that air pressure is going to decrease. So why is that? Why does air pressure decrease as altitude increases, as you go up higher into the atmosphere? Is it because A, there are fewer air molecules, B, because there's more air molecules, C, because there's higher temperatures, or D, because there's lower temperatures? Go ahead, pause and come back. (17) More solar energy is absorbed at the Earth's equator than at the poles. The equatorial regions would be even hotter than they are if it were not for winds that move heat from the equator towards the poles. What is the main cause of these wind patterns, of these global wind patterns? What causes the global wind patterns? A, the difference in air temperature causes differences in air pressure. B, the gravitational pull of the sun and the moon move the air back and forth. C, the equator is denser than the air at the poles because it is more humid. Or D, air at the equator has greater velocity than air at the poles because it travels further as the Earth rotates. If you recall, I compared this question to number 6 when we were doing a review, and also the answer to this question, number 17, will help you answer number 16 if you are stuck, because answers can be similar. Hint, hint. Pause and come back. Number 18, which diagram best models the movement of coastal air during the afternoon? Coastal air during the afternoon. So you have to think to yourself, what type of breeze happens during the afternoon and what's going on here? For A, the land is here, the water is here. You have one current going this way, up and around like this, and you have a second current that looks like it's going this way, up and around like this. Or is it B? You have the land here, the water here, and it looks like you have two currents, one going up this way and around like this, and another going the opposite way, up and around like this. Again, you have to think to yourself, what type of breeze is it during the afternoon? Sea breeze or land breeze, and then go from there. See, this is the land, this is the ocean. Looks like there's only one current, and this current shows this, going up and around like this. D also only shows one current. The land is here, the ocean is here, and the current is moving this way like this. Again, think about what type of breeze happens during the afternoon, and then think about what direction that breeze is moving. What direction is that current moving? Is it that way, this way, or are there two going, one going this way, one going this way, or is it two where you have one going this way and one going this way? Okay, pause and answer. All right, number 19 is your short answer extended response. Using the diagram below, explain how the Earth is heated at locations 1, 2, and 3 using the words conduction, convection, and radiation. Be specific. Include the following. At each one, you need to name the thermal energy transfer at each location. So at some point, you have to say, number 1 is the thermal energy transfer called blah, blah, blah. Then you have to explain how that thermal energy is transferred. So number 1 is blah, blah, blah. Thermal energy is transferred this way, blah, blah, blah. And you would have to give me the definition and explain what's going on there. Then specifically for the third location, not only do you have to give me the name of the thermal energy and how the thermal energy is transferred, in addition at number 3, to naming those, you need to explain what is happening to the molecules. You need to do this by explaining what is happening to the molecules of the air as they are getting hot. So number 3, after you've named the type of thermal energy, you need to explain what is happening with the air molecules after they get hot, okay? You need to write about the density, the volume, the speed of those air molecules, and whether those air molecules rise or sink. After that, you need to explain what is happening to the air molecules once they are away from the heat source. When you do that, you have to include writing about the density, the volume, the speed of the molecules, and whether the air molecules sink or rise when they are away from the heat source. Finally, you will include whether this is a one-time process or whether the process will repeat. for number 3. So again, for number 1, 2, and 3, you're naming the type of thermal energy transfer, and you're telling me exactly what is being transferred here and how it's being transferred. Then specifically for number 3, you have to include all of those things after the air gets hot. Tell me about the molecules. Tell me about the density of the molecules, the volume, the speed of them, and whether they rise or sink after they get hot. And then once they're away from the heat source, you need to include the density, the volume, the speed of the molecules, and whether the molecules will stink or rise. And we're talking about the air molecules specifically. And then whether the process repeats or if it's a one-time thing. Then for number 20 says, identify the relationship between elevation, air pressure, and temperature in the 4 layers of the atmosphere. Be specific. I've actually included what I want you to write. So you're literally copying and pasting this entire thing, and then in parentheses, you're choosing one or the other. So it says, as elevation in the atmosphere increases, air pressure blanks. You're going to delete the blank after you have copied and pasted the entire thing. If you do not copy and paste, I will not give you credit. Then you have to delete the lines. You cannot leave the lines there. And in place of the lines, you are writing increase or the word decrease, whatever you think is the appropriate word there. Not both, only one. So is it as elevation in the atmosphere increases, air pressure increases, or are you writing air pressure decreases? And then you'll continue by saying, because air molecules have blank. You will replace that blank with either more or less space. This causes the air to become blank, more or less dense. Again, you're choosing what goes in there. In general, temperature also blank, decreases or increases, with increasing altitude because there are blank, more or fewer air molecules to trap blank. What is it trapping? Therefore, all the layers, and that should say become. I will fix this. And so let me actually fix this right now as I'm here. So bear with me. Okay, become, and then you're writing hotter or colder. There are exceptions to this pattern. In the blank, you have to name a specific layer of the atmosphere, temperature blank. Are you writing increases or decreases with altitude because the ozone absorbs and traps the blank. So whatever layer this is the one where the ozone is found. And you're going to tell me what the ozone traps. All right. Then it says the thermosphere contains very few molecules, so it would feel blank. So now we're talking about the thermosphere layer. You're writing either the word cold or hot, but there are very few molecules to trap blank. Again, name what it traps. In reality, the thermosphere actually measures extremely blank because of the sun. Is that hot or cold? All right. So when you read this, it should say something like, as elevation in the atmosphere increases, air pressure increases or decreases because air molecules have more or less space. This causes the air to become more or less dense. In general, temperature also decreases or increases with increasing altitude because there are more or fewer air molecules to trap blank. Therefore, all the layers become hotter or colder in elevation. There are exceptions to this pattern. In the blank layer of the atmosphere, temperature increases or decreases with altitude because ozone absorbs and traps the blank. The thermosphere contains very few air molecules, so it would feel cold or hot, but there are very few molecules to trap blank. In reality, the thermosphere actually measures extremely blank, hot or cold, because of the sun, period. So you're just copying and pasting this into my long answer text, deleting the lines, and putting in one or the other, not both. And then where it says, what does it trap, or name the layer, then you're actually including that information, okay? If you need to repeat any part of this video, go ahead, rewind, and find the spot that you need, go back, and then scroll down and do whatever you need to do in order to hear me reread a question. Good luck, and I hope you do well.